And welcome to another show, Don't Get This Twisted. I am Rob, along with my co-host, as always, Tina. How you doing, Tina?
I'm hanging in there, Rob. I sound like I'm doing a little bit better than you are, though, coming out of that surgery.
Oh, yeah. I had first physical therapy today. And thankfully, she didn't stretch me out horribly.
Nice.
But she did tell me she's going to. But it was really good. I got some exercises to do for the next week, but I'm well on my way. She was kind of impressed that I could move my arm, a little bit here and there, and that I wasn't in tremendous pain.
Nice.
Yeah, when I told her I didn't take any Percocet, she was like, "Oh, bravo." I was
That's
like,
awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty wild.
Yeah. So today is our 200th episode. Who would have thought?
No one.
No, not even us.
not even us. Look, I mean, when we made it to 11, because that's the average what a podcaster does these days. I was like, okay, we're getting on a roll.
Yeah.
We did pretty good. Then we hit 50, and I was like,
what the hell?
Shit, we got this shit down pretty good. And if you go back and listen to some of those, not that they're bad shows, they're just not very well produced.
Oh,
that's the better way of putting it for me. Just
so.
Because I really just didn't know how to edit yet, and how we didn't have really great mics yet. So there was a couple of things that were just not as good. You know what I mean? I didn't expect it to be right away. I had things to learn, right?
We all do.
So as we went, and I think that a lot of the early conversations were good. They're not bad shows. I probably would have not did the one we did first, just because now looking back on it, it's very one dimensional of being you kind of have to live in the San Fernando Valley to really get it.
Oh, who listens to that shit anyway, though? I mean, come on. We got 200 episodes.
that is very true. But just to be fair, it's our most listened to show.
Well, yeah, it makes sense. But
yeah, it's number one.
And we were doing that when we were on COVID lockdown. So not even the restaurants, they weren't even really. You couldn't even go to them. I think we were just nostalgic.
Some of them are
normal.
gone. If you listen to that show.
Yeah.
My favorite taco place is not there anymore.
Right. And Casa de Pizza changed owners.
Gone. Yeah.
And who else did we say?
Well, obviously Chi-Chi's.
Yeah, they're still there. But they took a huge hit.
They did.
So did not the Papusa place, but what are those damn?
Did we talk about Rosie's? I don't don't remember.
Rosie's is there, but they're not good anymore. And they moved.
Yeah, they're on Parthenia now, right?
No, they're on
Corbin.
Yeah.
Corbin.
Yeah, so lots of different things going on in the valley. You know what? All the good restaurants that I used to like to go to, they're gone. I mean, there's very few that we go to right around where I live now. Sad.
There's some pretty good ones where I live.
I know. You have got the best stinking food out there. I've been with another friend that lives out in your area. I've gone with him several times, and whenever we were doing whatever we were doing to eat, and every time I go out there, it's delicious.
Yeah.
So I should be going out there more often, actually.
There's some pretty good spots out this direction.
Yeah.
So
we went to one place, and it was some sort of an Asian food, but I had never had it before. It wasn't Chinese, it wasn't Japanese, it wasn't there wasn't sushi or anything, but it was an Asian restaurant, and I can't think of what nationality it was, but we went in and we're trying to look at the menu. We had no freaking idea what anything was. So I closed my eyes and just pointed 3 different times. So we got 3 different things, and I got to tell you, it was the best food I ever had. So it was Korean food, actually, but it was Korean food. It wasn't this poppy sort of Korean fusion stuff that they're doing. It was so delicious. I was impressed. I think I marked it to go back there, But
nice.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah, I think that there's so many different things out this direction.
Mm-hmm.
Although there is in the valley too. I mean, to be fair. But I think the valley's just changed a lot, since we were younger. So
a lot.
But yeah, it's interesting. I actually went to Chi-Chi's not too long ago with my old neighbor, and we talked shop a little bit. Just life, catching up with people.
Mm-hmm.
And he even kind of was like, yeah, because he still lives over there on San Fernando Mission to Havenhurst.
Oh,
yeah, where I used to live. And
that's funny.
Yeah. But his life is changing. He got offered a job. He works for a store in the mall, and they want him to be a manager. If you can believe this, I told him if he doesn't take the job, I'll take it. In Pismo.
Oh.
I was like, you're going to take the job, correct? And he was like, yeah, I think so. I said, look, it could be expensive to live there, though. I'm sure, you know what I mean? Because it's a beach community. But I said, dude, whatever you do, ask for a shit ton of money and then get a small apartment. You'll never be home anyway.
Yep. You'll be in Pismo. Come on now. Yeah,
you'll be in Pismo the whole time. And he's like, yeah. And I said, dude, that's a good opportunity. It is. Look, Pismo's beautiful, but it is kind of in the middle of nowhere.
It's at the beach. I mean? Who cares?
No, I'm just saying, though, like to be around other human beings. It's like you can drive a long time and then there's Pismo, and then you can drive a long time and there's fucking nothing.
Yeah.
Central California is kind of a weird, or mid-central California.
I would
is kind
totally go to Pismo.
I told him to take that shit in a second.
Enough. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, look, take your shot, bro. I go, I would do it in a second, but we'll see him. Both his mom just passed away not too long ago.
Yeah.
His father passed away years ago. I said, look, it's time. What's holding you back now? Fucking pick up the ball and run with it.
Exactly. And if I didn't have the ties, I would do it. I'd do it in a heartbeat. And
I think that's, since we're going over kind of like what things we've done since episode 1, and things have changed in our lives. And
things have changed. I'm not even the same person I was when we started this podcast. Holy crap, have I been through it?
Yes. Lots of things, actually, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's an interesting thing because I've met a few people here and there, you trying to date or whatever for the last year. And it's funny because when I tell them, oh, I have a podcast, and they're like, really? I was like, yes. And I go, it's really cool, but before let's go on a few dates before you listen to it. And she's like,
don't tell people or anybody I've dated. It's
I don't care, but I warn them. I'm just like, look, I'm going to be honest. Like I say whatever I want on it, and I don't care, and and I will probably offend you. And they were like, oh, I want to be honest. I'd like to be upfront. So
I pissed people off and didn't even realize I was being offensive. That's been great. And I pissed off my ex's ex. That was a good time.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I didn't even know about it for 2 years.
I didn't even know. That's hilarious, actually.
Right?
Nor do I care, to be honest with you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, to be fair, I'll tell you that it's kind of the it's the dangerous part of doing this, right? With anything that you like, the internet, let's just say the internet now, if you're a YouTuber or a podcaster or a creator, whatever you want to call any of those three things,
you're going to offend somebody.
You're going to piss somebody off.
Yeah.
You just are. And I heard the guy who wrote the book, The Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck.
Mm-hmm.
If you haven't read it, it's absolutely brilliant book.
I need to read that.
but he said something. I think I have it here. I'll bring it out.
Cool.
It's good. And it's little. It's not even that long.
Okay.
It's really, but he goes over a lot of cool things. The thing that he does, he has an Instagram and he'll post stuff. He said something, the best thing I ever heard. He goes, everyone has to be comfortable with not being liked.
Yeah.
He goes, your life will be so much better when you realize you don't care if people like you or not.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, once you do that, life opens. And I was like, huh. And I was mostly thinking of the show, right? Like, because we say whatever we want. Shit, Tina, you almost forget that you say shit. You know what I mean?
I do forget because I'm talking to my friend. I tell you what I tell you, and then I don't worry about it. It's like I'm not lying to you. I may not have said it to make everybody happy, but yeah. And yet there's so much that I don't say.
That's probably true. Look, I won't tell you that I'm like that 100% of the things I say come out of my mouth. That's not true. But I will tell you that it's probably 95%.
Oh, come on. Everything you say, you mean it. I mean,
no, not that I don't mean it. I'm saying there might be things I don't say. Oh no, if it comes out of my mouth, I mean it.
Yeah.
there is absolutely no filter there. If I've said it on here, I fucking mean it.
Mm-hmm.
But I will tell you that I might not have said something, but it's rare.
Oh, I really, okay. So let's go back. The start of this, I was just entering the beginning stages of a divorce. I don't even think I had moved out yet when I started doing this. So there was a lot of things I couldn't say for a long time just because.
For sure. And I told you to. I said, don't say things.
Yeah. You said, don't get me in trouble. And thank God I didn't get in trouble. I've never had a problem with my ex of him saying he heard anything I think I do believe that I portray him in the best light possible because he is a good person. And I don't feel bad about him in general. I mean, we've gone through a couple of situations where I was like, I don't know if we're going to be friends after this. And it's going to take, whether we do or not, it's going to take him working on it. I'm a friend to everybody. So he's going to have to make an effort in order for that to be whatever it's going to be. But I don't foresee there really being a problem. There's just not.
Right. I mean, it's funny because someone listened to this podcast. They listened to the last episode. Maybe the last episode. I forgot which one. I don't remember. But it was basically talking about, old flames coming into our lives. That's the one that they listened to.
Yeah, I kept my mouth shut a lot on that one.
Yeah, and for me, this girl goes to me and she goes, it's really nice that you're like, friends with your exes. And I said, look, I do my best not to hold a grudge. Mm-hmm. And I do. Now, are there people that I might not talk to? Sure. But I think that that's just protecting my own feelings. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Where it's not that I don't have love for them anymore, because I do. I have deep feelings for them and I care about them. But I just think it's better that I don't talk to them.
Yeah.
For my brain.
Yeah.
But I would if I bumped into them at the store, I wouldn't ignore them.
Right.
Because that's not who I am. And look, if my personal feelings for her and my friendship for her are different, but the same. Right. So like, I care about her. And if she called me right now, like literally, if she called me right now, I would help her.
Yeah.
Now I might keep a distance, I would still keep my distance for my heart not to break. But I would help her because I care about her and she is my friend.
Absolutely.
So having relationships with exes or I shouldn't say having relationships, but not being mean to them. It's like the girl who sued me. I talked to her, you know, and I, you know, my best friend was like, why are you talking to her? Like nothing good can come from it. And I was like, nothing bad can come from it.
Right. If you don't put yourself in that position, you won't have a problem.
I won't have a problem. Yeah. So it was nice for someone to kind of just go, oh, it's really nice that you're like that. And I was like, yeah, why? Humans are humans and we're going to do certain things. And look, I understand when people have bad cutoffs and never talk to other people again. Totally understand it.
Agreed.
I totally understand it. Because some people hurt you so deeply that you can't come back from it.
Yep. Sometimes the rubber band breaks.
Yeah. Yeah. And it snaps into a lot of pieces.
Yep.
So where you just can't pick those back up. But it's interesting. I mean, doing this show for me is great because I get to vent and it's therapeutic for me. I can kind of let things out if I need to get them out. Whether, you know, whoever listens to this show, thank you. It's great. And they're from all over. I mean, there's a lot of countries.
There is a lot of countries.
A lot of countries.
And a lot of states. Like a lot of people have listened to it in different states here. I think we only have like one state that we need to have a listener from. Or one or two, like maybe. Like Delaware and something else. Someone in Rhode Island the other day listened. Oh. Yeah, there's just a lot. So like I you know, will say to anyone who has listened to the show, thank you very much. It's great. I hope we entertain. But so like I can look up where people have listened, right? What countries they've or I can break it down in ours to states and where they're at. But like the United States, obviously, we've had most of our stuff in the States. We've had Singapore, Germany, France, India, United Kingdom, China, Australia, Canada, Ireland, Brazil, Spain, the Netherlands, Iceland, Mexico, Peru, Russia, Japan, Sweden, Italy, Norway, Poland, Turkey, Austria, Colombia, the Philippines, South Africa, Angola, Belgium, Guam, Hong Kong, Israel, Kenya, Saudi Arabia, Cambodia, Chile, Costa Rica, the Dominican Republic, Finland, Georgia, not in the States, that's Russia, Latvia, Morocco, Nepal, man, there'd be some snow and some Yetis there. New Zealand, Nigeria, New Guinea, Romania. I think we're at the end of our list here. Taiwan, Turkey, United Arab, and Vietnam. Are you serious?
All of those.
Wow.
So at least one download in all of those countries. Where and when I say like one, there's a lot of them that have one, but like ones that I was shocked about.
New Guinea?
Was like, yeah. No, like Singapore.
Georgia?
Singapore, we've had 283 in Singapore.
Wow.
Yeah. Germany at 206.
That's crazy.
So like, you know, there's people in other countries that are listening to the show, which is simply amazing.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty neat to think that some people who obviously come from a non-English speaking country, but obviously understand English.
Or they don't, listen. And they downloaded it and they don't know what the hell we said.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. But I think that you can look it up. If you look at if you went to Apple or Spotify, it says what language it's in.
Ooh.
So, but it's just an interesting thing to think that like, you know, something that came out of my noggin one day, just talking about wanting to share opinions with people. It's interesting, and I've had a great time doing this, and I never in my wildest imagination would have thought that 300 or 200 episodes.
Yeah, 200 episodes, and that's in like 3 years, right?
Yeah. Let's see what I don't remember what.
No, it can't be through. Can it? It's more than 3 years.
Our first episode came out on September 16th of 2001, or I'm sorry, 2021.
Wow. So it's been almost 4 years.
Almost 4 years. 4 years in just a couple of months.
Wow.
So, and we've done pretty well about coming out every week. I know there was a couple of...
We had a couple months where life just wasn't easy on us.
Yeah. And I don't think we've ever skipped more than one. Ever.
Right.
I know we've skipped one and then made it up. And me and Tina have some ideas, because since I am laid up for a little while.
For a bit.
What would the youngins say, for a hot minute?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. We used to say that, so I don't think it's really a youngins thing.
Oh yeah, maybe not. Maybe I think they took it from Gen X.
Maybe.
We're going to try to get ahead on shows like we used to. And we're going to have some podcast parties where we sit down and record a couple of shows and eat and drink and be merry. So those are going to be coming. We're getting our friends lined up to sit down and talk shop with us. Hopefully we can offend some more people. Because if we bring one person on, I think he has kind of a loud mouth like me. Our friend with the broken leg. He could. I think he might be a little. He might be a bit much. What about? You said you have somebody personally that we talked about before. Is it your neighbor or your friend?
I got both. I was thinking of calling up like having a girls episode where you could just kind of facilitate it or whatever, and we would just talk on different things. Yeah.
Yeah. I think that would be really fun. You can still be
on it. Just
No, I know, but I'll produce it. I'll
let us roll with it.
Yeah, but I'll throw my 17 cents in.
I'd like to get like 2 or 3 of my girlfriends together and get them drinking, and then have them on the show. I think that would be fun.
Yeah, and maybe come up with a decent, something good to talk about. Like women.
Oh, we got tons of stuff to talk about.
No, but I mean, yes, I want to kind of do a guy show as well, where like we talk about. I want to do one on like where we've talked about men's issues before, me and you. Mm-hmm. Actually get a bunch of guys together and talk about like what's really going on. Like, why are we so? For one, we're giving up on relationships. Mm-hmm. Men are giving up. They don't.
Absolutely.
And I don't know why. I mean, I do, but I don't.
Because women are such freaking bitches to them. I couldn't imagine. Like, I really am having a problem with that because women are so just ugly to men. They feel like men have no place on this earth because they could do it all, and they're sadly mistaken. That's an idiotic approach to living, because women need men more than they know, probably now more than ever. And men are just like, why in the fuck am I trying?
Yeah.
I mean, I see that all the time with my friends. Even I was like, you need to stop what you're doing to him and start treating him well, because when you don't have him, he's never going to want you back. And you're going to end up feeling like a fool because you're just being a jackass. Mm-hmm. So I feel for men these days, and being single and trying to date them when they're already broken. It's a waste of time, because they're never going to believe that they're
right,
that they're going to find somebody that actually wants to work with them or be close to them or be anything to them,
Yeah. And look, I think we are different.
By far.
We've talked about it a bazillion times on the show, and thank goodness it's one that'll never go away, Tina. We'll always be able to talk about the differences between
men
the sexes.
And women, yeah.
And again, I'm using the bell curve here on the show. We're just simple. I think men are just very simple creatures, and women like excitement. So when you mix those together, unless you can find a guy who's like into that, I some girl told me the other day, she was like, oh, I just want to be with somebody who's like fun and likes to do things. And she goes, this guy I dated, he just wanted to sit at home, watch TV, and he really didn't want to go out very much. And I was like, okay. And she's like, yeah, we dated for like 2 or 3 months. And I was like, how? So one of you guys had to bend, because if not, you sat in a house and watched TV with him, or he went out with you.
Mm-hmm.
Because, or you met in the middle. But I just found it interesting because I think men are simple. We can, there's older dudes. I've been watching some of these videos. They're reverting back to like their youth. They would rather sit at home and play video games and watch TV than go out with women.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy to me. And look, do I want to go out, every weekend? Fuck no.
Yeah, but if you find somebody, they don't want to normally go out every weekend anyway. They want to just, in the beginning of relationships, all you want to do is be with the other person. So it doesn't seem right, or it doesn't seem like it would even happen that you would go out every weekend.
Yeah. But I think some women, older women, are, look, this is what I think happened to a lot of people. They had children so early that they gave up that life. And now that they're, 45 and older, their kids are 20 something years old. They can go out and do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. So now they're reverting back to that 20-year-old girl, where maybe the man that they're meeting didn't get married until they were like 30. Their kids like now only 22, and they're like, I've lived my 20s. I don't want to do all that shit. I want to fucking chill out.
Yeah.
And again, these are things that I think that would be a good women's program for you, is to talk like, we should do it. That's what we should do. You should do a female show on that same thing, and then I'll do the male version of it, and we'll see what both sexes say.
None of my friends are really dating, though. Nobody is actively looking for anything. They've settled for what they've always been with, or they just don't. They do what guys do. Not. They just don't want to.
Right. But why?
We could talk what about I'm saying. That.
I think that would be a very interesting cultural thing. Mm-hmm. If it was me and 2 dudes, and then you can facilitate it. Right. We'll have you kind of, ask questions from the female view, and then you can get those, and then I'll kind of ask questions from the male view. I just think that there's so many different things that this show has done, and we have, and that's why sometimes it becomes difficult to find things to talk about, because we've really talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Where even when we revisit, I think it's fun. Like, I think that doing the love language ones was fun because it was like 3 years apart. Mm-hmm. Like, it was so far apart. And to find out that, have we really changed much? Not really.
I don't think we have.
No,
not in that respect.
But we have.
But I found that since I've been divorced, doing it a second time, like 3 years later, how much more I require. And not that it's much, but it's like, I found that somebody needs to be more engaged with me. Like that. Correct. They can't just throw me some flowers and think that I'm going to be cool with that. Like where it used to work, Now it's like, no, I need you to spend time. I need you to hold my hand. I need you to say something nice. Like now it's more than ever. But it's still, it should be effortless. It's not, I'm not asking for money. I'm not asking for cars. It's more emotional.
Sure. I think that a lot of people, I think I've been kind of talked about in a matter that like, oh, you're so much, or not that I need something. I want to give a lot. But to me, time is everything. Quality time is the greatest thing in the world. I could go and hang out with somebody and help them fix their house and get just as much as going out drinking at a bar.
It's spending time. It's not I don't understand why people don't understand that time is a necessary thing in order to create a solid relationship. Mm-hmm. It's not about money that gets spent. It's not about places that you visit. It's about the solid foundation that you create with one another. And that's normally in like the most simplest of places. You know, it's sitting on the couch watching a movie and talking, or it's about taking a drive and holding hands. It's about sharing ideas, and you know, even text messaging in dating is so. If somebody can't entertain me even just a little bit in a text, I understand them that they're not my type of people. They're not my type of people because they're not putting any sort of effort into it. Not that a text is an effort, but I like to say something funny, or, oh my gosh, I woke up late today and had to speed to work and, you know, hit every light, or, you know, just tell them something about what is going on in my world. And if I don't get that back, I'm bored. Because I need that interaction. I need somebody's brain is what I need.
It's funny that you say that. So me and the kid were at lunch yesterday, mm-hmm. and he was talking about his girlfriend with me. And he kind of went down that road with reciprocation. So my son isn't a big texter.
Yeah.
Matter of fact, he hates it. But his girl called and said, "Hey," or text him and say, "Hey, can I call you?" instead of just calling. And he goes, "I've told her a million times, just call me, just call me, just call me." I said, "Okay, listen." I was trying to like hold his hand a little bit to get to the finish line because he's like, "Oh, I just can't take this." I said, "Listen, you have to understand the person you're with." And he goes, "Well, I do." And I go, "Then you can't complain." Mm-hmm. He goes, "But I don't want to keep telling her, just call me, just call me, just call me." I go,
"She doesn't feel comfortable calling you, or she would."
And I said, she goes, "To him, you're always busy." And I go, "Buddy, you're always playing that game." And they go, "Your job as a boyfriend is if she calls you, pick it up. I don't give a shit what you're doing." Mm-hmm. It's one game. Who gives a shit? Let you die. If you die, you die. It is what it is, or whatever it is. And he was like, "Yeah." And I said, "So if you tell her, call, you can't complain about it on the backside." Mm-hmm. But the flip side is, I go, "You have to make her comfortable enough to do it." And he goes, "Well, we've been doing this 3 years." Awesome. I said, "Just so you know, when you have little children, you're going to have to do the same shit. You can tell a little child a bazillion times it's okay to do this, and they're still going to say, 'Can I? Can I? Can I? Can I?'" I go, we all have baggage. We all have something. And this is kind of going down that road, what you kind of said though. Like, he goes, if I text her like really happy in the morning and I get back "Oh, hey, I'm all right," and that's it. He goes, I go into shutdown mode. He goes, "Okay, whatever. Talk to you later." And I was like, and I understand that. Thankfully, I like people who are very, very open. Mm-hmm. If I text you, "Hey, good morning, how you doing?" I would rather hear, "I'm having a really shitty day today. I don't mean to cut you off, but I need a little alone time." I flip the alone switch. But here's the flip side of that. And not in a mean way. You have to text me back to say,
"I'm better now,"
alone
or
time
"How
is
you
over."
doing?
Yeah. Because And I told him that, like, you have to learn to read people. I go, because he is pretty simple. My son is a pretty simple creature until he's not. And then I want to punch him in the noggin. But he is pretty simple. And I said, you have to reinforce the idea that you're simple to her. Mm-hmm. Make it about you, not about her. Whether it's about her or not, it's irrelevant. Just go, hey, this is how I am. Please do it this way.
Yeah.
And see if that works. And I go, maybe she just was waiting for you to, like, literally open both gates. He goes, yeah, but I've already had a gate open. Yeah, well, the reality
She's
of
a
that.
Woman.
Yeah.
And sometimes going through life, women just get a little insecure and they need a little more. And guys need to know that and not take them as crazy. Just say, okay, I get it. You know, even if she doesn't want to talk, just say, well, I was thinking about you. I love you. And when you're ready to talk about it, I'm here. I mean, it doesn't have to be such a horrible situation all the time.
Yeah, I do my best to say that now, because I've had some friends that aren't the greatest communicators until they need to drop bad news on you. Then they're really good at it. But generally, they're like, you know, you have to kind of swerve around and go over here and hop over the fence and go, hey, you know, what's going on? It's and like, I get it. Like, some people don't want to hurt your feelings. They're just not good at it. Instead of, you know, sometimes it's better just to, you know, untie the knot and let the boat go out to sea.
Well, and you got to remember too, not everybody is going to be good every day. They're just not.
Yes, for sure.
They're not. And I mean,
agree.
I always tell people, like, I'm always open. You know, you could always call me, whether I'm in a good mood or a bad mood, but I'll tell you, this is something I cannot and will not talk about with you today, because I'm just not there. But we could go anywhere but else, talk about anything else. I'm here, but not that. And you have to give me time to process too.
Yeah. And see, that I would rather hear things that way.
Yeah.
I the way my brain works is better that way, to go, oh, okay, cool.
Yeah. Once I figured out, you know, so in the beginning of this podcast, and we decided to get divorced in the beginning of COVID, and I was really going through it, but I couldn't figure out what to say to people. I couldn't get the narrative. Like, everybody's going to say, why? What happened? Because they thought we had a really good relationship. And we did, but it wasn't fulfilling us anymore. And I, at the time, I couldn't tell you that. I couldn't tell you what happened or what was shit. A lot of times I still can't, because, you know, it's just a situation where it wasn't one thing. It was a lot of things. So I took about 9 months before I let anybody know we were getting divorced, because I had to figure out the narrative, and nobody could help me. You know, everybody's going to take a side when you get divorced, and, oh, well, he did this and he did that and da-da-da-da-da. And I'm like, yeah, but I did this and I did that. And my friends would be like, well, no, you did that because of this. And I would tell them, regardless, this is actions that we both took. And now we're dealing with it. So we're going to have to figure it out. And I don't need you to take my side. Like, there's no side to take, because I'm just as fucked up in the relationship as he was when we weren't doing what we needed to with the other person.
Correct.
So for me, it was like, take the time to figure out what you really need to say, and then say it. So I remember being very quiet and, like, reserved. And thankfully, because of COVID, nobody really knew what was going on, because we were all struggling and isolated and staying in one place. So as much as that was a huge, like, hole in my heart, the whole COVID thing, it defended me and my wants to just be really quiet. So I was grateful for that. But yeah, now I look at things and I go, when I figure out how I could tell you, I'll let you know, because I'm struggling, but I didn't know to say that before.
Mhm.
And I think people need to understand that.
I think what you just said is like pretty basic on how we were trying to talk about how we've changed in
Yeah.
almost 4 years. How I look at things and how I process things, I think is different now
Yeah.
since then to now. Cause I've gone through some, you know, friend things. I'll say relationship, even though I wasn't in a relationship, just whatever it was.
Situationship.
Yeah. Where I try to process things differently because you have to. And I think this show has really kind of showed me the other side of the fence. Sometimes it's nice to have, you know, you who is going to give the female side of it, even though you're not like every female,
No.
and where I'm not like every male.
Right.
You know, I'm definitely more on that hopeless romantic.
Yeah, you're way more open with your feelings, more than any guy I think I've ever known.
I think that sometimes it's definitely an anchor. Like
I
it
used
can
to
hurt
think
me more.
that you were like that with me because we didn't have any romantic feelings. It wasn't until we've grown up that I realized that you're just more like that in general. You know, I always assumed that because I couldn't hurt you because we weren't going to date, that you could just be more open with me. And maybe that's partially true, but
Probably.
but also I felt like that I was, because we were such good friends, that I was just privileged to stuff that most women weren't. And I think that was partially true too. But now that you've gotten older, now you're so much more open than you've ever been in your life. Like
Right.
I'm impressed that you were able, because damn, trying to 6 weeks to get you to talk to me was not easy. And now
Yeah.
you'll talk about everything.
I think after my divorce, I really kind of opened up everything.
Yeah.
Just kind of, because like you come out of it where everyone picks a side. There's no win. There's never a winner or loser. Everyone loses coming out of divorce. I don't care how you slice or dice it. You lose something. You lose people. You lose money. You lose part of who you are. Whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I definitely think I became more open talking wise just because it was easier.
Yeah.
And then so many people have so many fucking questions after it. You're like,
oh my God,
this
the questions.
and
Just shut up and
that.
let me say what I'm going to say and shut up.
Right. So, and like I said, I was in a situationship for a while.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it was, and sometimes I had to vent to somebody, even though even that wasn't 100%. I will say that I've definitely, like I said, 95%, people know 95% of what's going on in my life.
Mm-hmm.
Generally, there's always going to be something that you hold on to because you don't want
needs to know that 5%.
Yeah. Well, and for a lot of different reasons. I know I wouldn't want to hurt anybody else. I wouldn't,
Mm-hmm.
I like I said,
you don't want to leave
enough.
anybody in a bad light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't. And look, I say dumb shit like all the time. And it's gotten me in trouble where, I'll say something and I thought like, oh, they should take it this way. And they're like, no, I didn't take it that way. You're like, oh, okay.
Who knew?
Yeah. But these are all learning things. We're going to learn until they put us in a box or put us in the fryer. We're just going to. You learn all the time. I've definitely learned, mostly I would say in the last 10 years. I've learned a lot in the last 10 years.
Yeah.
There's just been a lot going on and some of it good. I picked up my whole life and moved, not far away, but to get a better job and get ahead. And that's worked for me. And I came up with some crazy idea to do a podcast, and my idea in the beginning was to do it alone. And then I tried, and then I realized that I can't, because talking to yourself is great when you do it in your own room, but when you're trying to do it in front of a microphone, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
And then I thought, hey, who else could talk? And well, that wasn't very hard.
That's true.
Because I knew you would, even though I will tell you, if we're being 100% honest, like in the beginning, it was kind of hard to get things out of you to a degree.
Oh, because I was afraid that everything and anything I said was going to be judged. I still worry about that. I do.
And again, not even just about your relationship. I think it was about everything. Like it could have been about like, do you like the flavor of, Cocoa Krispies? And you would have been like, well, the chocolate. You were just, I think.
I was overthinking life.
That's what I think. And I think because you really didn't listen to podcasts a lot.
No, I still don't. I don't listen to podcasts still. Where
I listen to them all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think that I was already knowing what I wanted, or what format or how I thought about it. So going in, I already had an idea, and so it was easier. And there was kind of a step off point though, I think, for you. There was like, I bet you if you listen to anything before episode 25, you might be a little more leery. And then, there was a jump off point where it was like, oh, I don't give a shit anymore. And then we started rolling in a different direction.
I don't know. I still think I need to be more open still. Like I said, until I have a narrative of things, I don't say too much. And I've noticed that about myself. And I've also noticed that takes away opportunity from me, that I should just take when it first comes up. I should just go with it. Yeah. And I'm learning. It's, I've always been one to be very cautious about sticking my foot in the water. You don't want to have an alligator grabbing your whole leg, and I have believe it or not, I have a really good fan club of haters, the Tina Haters Club. And it seems like it's getting bigger, like all the time. And, they're finding those people on the outskirts of life that don't like me and trying to bring them in. And I don't like to put myself in a vulnerable place. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then, people kind of shock me because they don't live by the same values and virtues that I do. And so when they don't, I'm like, oh, you fuckers, you caught me, Yeah. So I don't know. I'm working on being more open. I'm very honest. What you get is an honest Tina every time. Mm-hmm. I will be honest with you, but I may omit certain things that I think should be private or that I can't deal with yet. And that, that's just the way it goes.
Yeah. I think that there's always going to be something a little close to the vest. That's just,
that's me.
And there should be.
Absolutely.
For everybody. But I also think that if it's an opinion and I'm 99% coming out on this show, I don't care if you don't like my opinion. That's the whole point of this. There should be a counter to this. If this was 1965, this show would have been called like Point Counterpoint. Mm-hmm. Right. Don't get it twisted is just something that we used to say back in the day where, don't get it twisted. This is just the way it is. So at the end of the day, this show for me is the therapy that I need. And it's the outlet that I need. And it's awesome for me.
That's cool. I'm glad that you feel like that. Because for me, I get to see your face every week. Everybody thinks we do this together. We're doing this on the
On the
internet.
interwebs.
Yes. And it's good because I could keep in contact with you, because you and I, we kind of ebb and flow. Like we'll go years not really talking, and then we'll be really close again, and then we'll go back. So this has kept it more
Flowing.
Yeah, more stable and more consistent. Maybe not stable, but consistent, because we've always been pretty stable. And we do get to share things, and I know that it has helped people. I know that it's helped me. And it keeps me from going completely silent, which I never thought that would be something that I could do. Mm-mm. But I got to tell you, I've been so knocked down that I have been pretty freaking silent and won't talk. And when I get to that point, it's not a healthy place. So this has really helped me with that. And I did things that I thought I would never do, or that I didn't have the balls to do. But once I said it, I did it, like getting my bike. That took probably a couple years if you've listened to us steadily. But
it's true.
I did get the bike. I do have the bike. I love the bike. I mean, I've had a really great time on that. And nobody believed me when I said I was going to do that, because I took too long. But I did that. And, I have, everybody said, are you going to be able to live without him when I left my ex? And here I am, 5 years later, and I'm still alive, and life is not horrible. It's a lot. I mean, I got a lot on my plate, as I normally do. Even being back in high school, I remember I was always the one that couldn't say no to anything. So I do way more than most people, but I find that I do enjoy living it. I do enjoy having that. And I didn't know that I could do that when we started this podcast. I didn't think anybody would listen. I didn't think we'd get to 200 episodes. I didn't think that we would enjoy it so much. I didn't think, I don't know. I didn't think a lot of things, but I didn't know myself 5 years ago as well as I do now. And I don't think that that's any reason other than I just was forced to. Life made me see who I really am and what I'm made out of. And I'm grateful that we've had the podcast, because I can go back and I can look at things and say, wow, I'm different now, or I believe so different than I did before. And I'm excited for that. Not that I do it. I don't listen to episodes unless you tell me I need to, or I need to reference something that's going on. But I do know that I can. And God forbid, if I were to die tomorrow, my family could listen to all these things and see where I was at and what I was going through. And maybe that'll make them feel a little bit better. So I don't know. It's kind of a legacy thing in a way. So I'm digging it.
Yeah. I kind of agree. I think that this is definitely a time capsule, right?
For sure. Yeah.
The flip side is I'm glad that my mom got to listen before she passed away. Yeah. And always had something really funny to say about it. I remember one of the first couple ones, she's like, she talks too much. And I was like,
and now if you notice, I don't talk as much. It's funny.
Here's the funny thing is though, if you go back and listen to those shows, you didn't talk too much.
She just wanted to hear you, not
she
me.
just wanted to hear me, because and it was funny because she said it one time and I go, Mom, no. She goes, yeah. And I go, Mom, I edit the show. I listen to it more than anyone.
Yeah.
I do it, I edit it, and then I listen to it again. I know. And so she was like, okay. But I think you're right. I think she just wanted to hear me talk.
She did. I wish I would have met her. I've known you since we were 16 years old, and I didn't. I used to go to Iowa to see her. I remember used to take those trips, and I'd be like, I want to meet her, and we never got to do that. So I kind of feel like I wish we would have had the opportunity.
Yeah, I mean, look, she probably got to know you more than a lot of people just through this.
Yes, I would agree.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that there's a lot to be said. I'm going to throw out something before we end this show, because I know we're probably at an hour already. For those who don't know, and you're listening, you are one of. So I can look at how many unique listeners. That means different people who have listened to this show. We've had 3,841 different people listen to this show.
Mm.
And out of those people, they have downloaded this show 8,000 times.
Wow.
So congratulations, Tina. We've had a pretty good run, and obviously we want people to continue to listen and to share this show as much as they can, because they're definitely sharing the show, because by the country, I can see different places inside those countries that are, so people inside these countries are sharing the show with other people because they're close in proximity to some of the other ones. It's a very interesting thing. But now for the next 100, 300 will be our next.
Is that our goal?
That's our. I think in a real world thing, I would love to hit 500.
Ooh,
that would be bitchin'.
So we're looking at a 10-year run.
Yeah. Well, yes. Assuming we only put out one a week.
Yeah.
I think that there'll probably end up being extra shows, because I want to kind of do some special things, and we'll probably get there quicker. We'll probably get to 300 quicker, because I would like to do some weeks, do 2 shows and do like a special thing, but we'll sit down and talk about that before Bunko, because it'd be fun to do some, more things.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, let's say the next 100. That's my first goal is 100 at a time. Would be the cool part, and just continue to keep having a good old time and saying our nonsense and getting our opinion out there. Anything else you got to say?
Thank you guys for listening. Thank you, Rob. It's been a lot of fun. I've enjoyed it.
Ditto. I think I've learned a lot. I learned a lot about you that I had no idea about. So that's always an interesting fact. And truly, I think the next 100, I really, really, really wish that some of the people who have listened to this show leave a message on Facebook or Instagram, or there's an email in the show notes, because now I'm actually checking that email. Go figure. We would have known that someone's ex listened to the show 2 years ago. I forgot the password and I couldn't, and then I got off on another tangent of whatever the hell I was doing. But I would really like more people to come on the show. Really, all you need is a computer. We send you a link, and you have some kind of headphone that has a microphone.
Yeah.
If you have an Apple, you can do it on your phone. You can download an app and do it on there. You can pretty much do it. There's many ways of doing it. So please, 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 if you're interested, please get in touch with us, because we'd love to have you on. And here's the best part. You can bring the topic with you.
Well, there you go.
You bring the topic and we'll set it up. It might be a week out, because I would want to do a little research if it was something that I didn't know anything about, which I don't know a lot about a lot of things. So,
well, we've done more with less.
Yes, that is very true. We have done more with less. So look, it's an opinion show. Don't get it twisted. Keep coming back every Wednesday. We appreciate that you're listening, and to the next 100. Cheers. And
yes.
That's Tina. I'm Rob. We'll see you in a week. Later.
See ya.